Welcome. Yeah, whatever. I'm Pat. That's Eric. Welcome to Fantasy Breakouts. This is our Week 14 recap. All right. So we'll dive right into it. First game of the week was, we had Pats Rams. Rams won 24-3. The only thing I took away from that game, Eric, was finally Cam Akers is there. Other than that, yeah, anything?
Yeah, I just kind of recapped it on the Sunday live, but yeah, they finally gave him the reins, so that's awesome. I didn't know how the Patriots were even going to put up any points against that defense. One of the I'd say top three defenses in the league. So that was just not going to be a great Thursday night game from the get go, unless the defense forced Goff to make some stupid mistakes, and he didn't really. So, but that's all I had.
Pretty fortunate usually. Next game, Titans 31, Jags 10. Derrick Henry. Period.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, and I had that decision with I have him and AJ Brown, and I figured one would go off if the other one didn't, and they kind of both did. So, hey, we'll take that. Otherwise, yeah, Derrick Henry, man, you don't want to be facing him. He gets Green Bay and Detroit, actually reverse order, Detroit and then Green Bay. So other than that, he's a monster.
The next game, Vikings, Bucs. Bucs won 26-14. They looked a little shaky at first, but they came around. I still didn't like how the Bucs won. Chris Godwin. Tom Brady just, I just Godwin was so wide open. So wide open.
Oh, I would have brought that up. Yeah, he just completely airmailed it, standing in the middle of the field. The Vikings didn't have Kendricks, so like that middle of the field was open all day, and Gronk capitalized, but that was about it. But yeah, Dalvin Cook had his regular outing, not anything too extremely good, and then Ronald Jones had a great game. Otherwise, yeah, big letdown for all the receivers, really all the fantasy relevant receivers, and Dan Bailey actually kind of killed it fantasy wise for the Vikings, not keeping them in the he lost 10 points, so 10 points for them, so that would have been a lot closer. Not that I thought that the Vikings were going to win that to begin with, but
yeah, I just think the Bucs were just ugly at first, really. Notable injury though, they said that Rojo broke his pinky or something like that, so be watching for that. Next game, Chiefs 33 over the Dolphins 27. I thought this Dolphins defense, man, they held their own. There wasn't too much. I mean, the Chiefs offense is a Chief offense, and Tua is definitely nowhere near that. They don't even. There's tiers, there's levels. It was obvious. Um, but other than that, Gesicki had a great game, but he got hurt.
yeah, we'll watch for him. Yeah, going into the week, yeah, actually Tua played great. Before this Monday night game, Tua was the second highest scorer, but I don't even think he might be the fourth now after that game. That was nuts. But yeah, we'll talk about Lynn Bowden, one of the biggest freak athletes that came out in the draft this past year. We'll talk about him in the waiver video here coming up. But otherwise, yeah, Dolphins fought back. How many times did the Dolphins fight back in a game last year? They were down 10-30, and they made it a game. If they had one more stop, they could have tied that game up, if not won. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, look at the Dolphins, man. Look at them go. But yeah, otherwise, let's move on. Broncos, Panthers. What are you thinking for this game, Pat?
I still don't trust Drew Lock at all. The man has a couple of good games here and there, but overall, I don't think he's the answer. And I would play a defense against him like the Bills next week. But they won 32-27. Just not taking too much away from that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
What were you looking for in that game, Eric?
I just want to send a thank you letter to Mike Davis. Just Mike Davis. I'll never forget you. Even if McCaffrey's back for week 15 here, thank you, Mike Davis. This has been a ride, man. Appreciate it, buddy.
Awesome.
But yeah, two rushing touchdowns, 5 catches, 93 total yards. Thank you. Otherwise,
Anyway,
let's
man.
move on.
Um,
Needed it, man. Thank you.
Bears 36 over Texans 7. Um, I just think Deshaun is out there by himself, man.
I feel
He
bad for
is
him.
solo dolo. The man is great, but he can't throw and catch. What was it? Is it Atkins that just like, oh my,
Akins, oh,
yo,
he never saw that ball. He just got hit in the arm, right? I just like looked at Deshaun Watson after that. He was just like,
wide
all
open
right,
too. So
and he's relying on Chad Hansen right now, top receiver this week.
Chad Hansen. I think he might have Cooks back in the future, but the Bears definitely got the best of them. Montgomery and Trubisky somehow might be saviors for people.
Yep. Yeah, he was in our trade for a while back, and I think people might have shut it. I was looking, you look on YouTube, you can see when people drop off. Say Montgomery, they drop off, but hey, it's looking like a good recommendation to trade for that guy, right? He's going after it, and yeah,
Next game,
just gotta love it.
sorry. Next game, Cardinals 26, Giants 7. Cardinals offense still looks in shambles to me. It's me. They don't look good. The Giants just didn't have a great outing. They gave it their all last week against Seattle. They got their win. Now they're just kicking it, but making moves in the right direction and whatnot. I think I'm definitely excited for them next year, man. Once they get back. So next game, Cowboys 30 over Bengals 7. I don't. I don't
Yeah, If you have Geo, I was a stasher of Geo. Go ahead, cut that man. I think his fantasy relevance might be over with. Unfortunately, just not worth hanging on to. He did get benched after he fumbled, but still, it was a good matchup, and he didn't capitalize. Pollard split work almost evenly with Zeke, which is really scary for people that are in a keeper league or trying to understand what you have going into next year. Pollard's just faster, more explosive, and he's got the juice, right?
Would you be surprised if they actually benched him? Or I would say, I don't know, man. I won't be surprised. I mean, they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
At
definitely one of those
point.
things. Yeah, it's just like I don't care how much you want to eat. Pause. It's done, bro.
That could be, yeah, like you're saying, yeah, they could maybe more of a strategically benching him or just lightening the load on him the rest of the way. Like why put that like
stress on that
hard workload on the guy.
Next game, Colts 44, Raiders 27. I think this is a pretty good game. Mr. T.Y. Is he back?
I think he's back. I think he's maybe not 100% back to whatever. What year was he really at his peak? Maybe 17, 16. He had a run, but yeah, I think if he's out there, he should be on your team and on your roster if he's still available. But yeah, we're gonna show. Pat was getting excited, saying I have to show this Jonathan Taylor run.
You have to. We've only been waiting for this for about 4 months.
The guy runs a 4.3 in the combine, and it's like, where is it?
Where has this been?
Where is it?
He is 230.
Oh, I got the volume on too. Look at him go. He was even with two guys right there, and the safety had an angle.
Within reach, and he just bounced. Like, that's nuts. Oh, he's on my team.
Yeah. They have a cameraman like in the end zone.
Yeah, he was jumping with them.
He was really in there.
Everybody was excited. But yeah, overall that we've known the Raiders defense. They were, about a month ago it was, oh man, the Raiders and their defense surely brought them back down to earth. They've been getting exploited, man.
Yeah, recently. Oh.
So yeah, other than that, let's move on to the next game. Jets 3, Seahawks 40. Yeah. Packers 31, Lions 24. I thought the Lions held their own. I thought the Packers do a lot more running. Obviously, they're going to make sure Devontae eats, and they're going to make sure Aaron does what he wants at the end of the day. But they definitely, 24, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they stayed in it.
Yeah, what are you taking away from that?
Yeah, I think with you really can't complain what we got from Swift, and then Kerryon Johnson, a little bit of a vulture at the goal line, got a touchdown at the end. But with Rodgers, man, this is probably he's maybe not physically the best we've seen him, but like results maybe the best we've seen him in his career. It's really something. You gotta give him credit. And then with the emergence, really what I took away from that game as Aaron Jones, I really needed him to have a big game. He didn't. But with Tanyan and Lazard and MVS, with them going downfield, Rodgers doesn't need to worry. Like if the focus is on Adams, he's not going to have to throw it to Aaron Jones downfield. And that a lot of times throwing to running back over safeties and stuff, that is a riskier throw. So when you have guys you can trust like he does with Tanyan and Lazard and MVS, he doesn't have to throw it to Aaron Jones. So that's a little bit capping his value. Definitely. So that's what I've just been seeing. But I mean, he's not going to have that 80-yard touchdown or 70-yard touchdown run, Marshawn Lynch type run down the field every week. Yeah. So we'll have to think about that going into next year.
Next game, Falcons 17, Chargers 20. Thought this was an alright game. It could have been a lot better. Chargers, they're just stabbing themselves. They still don't know what a clock is. I don't get it. You're a professional football team.
No timeouts. They ran it with, 17 seconds left?
Like, what's going on, bro? Like, yeah, come on, man. You guys are in the NFL, man. People are. I'm glad people aren't there to watch that. But and then now that Keenan Allen, they're playing with him now. Hey, come on, man. Don't be playing with people like that. But
so reliable usually.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't know. Matt Ryan's. I wouldn't rely on him. Next game, Washington 23, Niners 15. That defense is for real. That's all it is. And Chase Young, that boy's a beast. We've been talking about this for weeks. You got that D line, you got a person like Chase Young, anything's possible. Now,
he's wrecking games.
Definitely. Now, how you feeling about McLaurin right now?
Yeah, with McLaurin, man, I don't feel as comfortable if we find out Haskins is starting. I don't know if I have a good wide receiver 2 that usually is behind McLaurin. I think I'm benching McLaurin for him this week if that's the case. And with Washington, they do get Seattle though, so that's gonna make it tough. I'll have to give you an update on everything on Sunday, so definitely tune in for that because I know McLaurin's probably on a lot of people's rosters that have gotten this far. Otherwise, so with that, Pat, how comfortable are you starting actually Seahawks players against that Washington defense that if Russell Wilson's getting chased around like with his head cut off trying to get away from these guys?
I go back and forth, man. I can see them, honestly, Seattle just being a hard-nosed, run-the-football game. I can see that happening. Just 17-10, two running back touchdowns and a field goal. I can see that happening, definitely. Now, or even a touchdown by the defense. But let's move on to the biggest surprise of the week. The Saints 21, Eagles 24. Ew. Jalen Hurts looked calm, confident. He didn't struggle at all. It's crazy. Like, he came out there like he's been doing this, and I think people aren't looking at how good he can be. And I don't think Carson Wentz is done, but Jalen Hurts didn't do what he did. Hurts didn't do what he did, so that's why they won. So.
Yeah, he's helping him. He ran for 106 yards, so that's awesome. And we get him. He goes against Arizona and Dallas. I definitely feel more comfortable against Dallas after Arizona had 8 sacks in the last game. So otherwise, Mike Thomas. Don't have to ask about Mike Thomas. We're starting him every week. He's not putting up the touchdowns. He has none for this year. How insane is that? But we're still starting Mike Thomas. He has that floor. He still has 12. I think he had 12.5 points or something.
Please, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
That old body of yours. Go get in the crowd chamber for the next week. I don't know what you got to do, bud, but we need that because the Taysom Hill experiment is pretty much done.
Even if he comes back and his thumb doesn't work and ribs
It's
are
all about
broken,
this. They got to
just let him
respect it, you know.
get that
He'll still
Lamar
have more
Jackson
touch.
treatment. Run down the tunnel, shoot him up with something, come back, run around.
Man.
We'll talk about that, but man, that
So
game was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it was a great game. Please, Drew Brees, come back. Uh, Next game, Steelers 15, Bills 26. I, I'm still, I don't know, man. I'm torn about the defense because they are missing pieces. They're
Pittsburgh,
vital
yeah.
pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Dupree is very good. But I think they played better than what this was. I mean, I just think they're on the field too much, and their offense wasn't doing anything for them. So you got to think
Mm-hmm.
you're outmanned and you're out the field for how many? I don't know the possession, but it had to be completely lopsided. And it's like Pittsburgh's offense. What happened? Where are you? All you guys are on milk cartons. Deontay Johnson, you get 20 targets a game if you drop 10 of them.
I think he still had the most. He got
Yeah,
sat
it's crazy.
for a quarter and a half. He still had the most targets.
It's like we believe in you. I just got to catch. But man, come on, bro. Like it's so. I don't know if you're scared. I don't know what's the deal. You got gloves on. You know how sticky those gloves are. How is that possible? You got people going out there snagging with bare hands, but you can't catch with these cheating gloves. I'm confused. Whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, is he going to be the next? If he has a bad start to the season next year, is he going to be the next like Aguilar, how he was in Philly, physically talented, just can't
Mentally
catch the
checked
ball?
out.
Yeah,
Remember, Amari
Aguilar
Cooper
sucked.
for a while had that. Remember, like he was like
Mm-hmm.
really good, and then he just went. Now I haven't seen Amari Cooper looks pretty good now, but ugh,
Oh yeah,
he
he's
needs
been
to get it
consistent.
together. Now as far as Allen, are you regretting the Allen or not?
No, I think it was kind of that situation where it was just I. So if you didn't watch, you probably didn't see on Sunday, but Tan, I had a in a situation where I had a lot of the Titans starting AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, and I wanted that insurance of having Tannehill versus having Josh Allen going against Pittsburgh, which the defense didn't quite or the offense didn't quite help out the Steelers enough. But anyway, so yeah, Tannehill versus Allen. I went Tannehill more safe. I think that was a safer option, and it ended up being 2.5 points difference anyway. But yeah, it was Steelers have held every quarterback they faced under 20 points, and they did again. So
And the
I don't know.
Steelers do
Didn't come
play.
back to bite me for sure.
The good thing is, the Steelers defensive owner, they are playing Cincinnati next week. So
Hmm.
talk about a get right game. I think Mike Tomlin, that boys have a long week. So the next game we have, well, the one that just ended was a great game. Uh, the Ravens ended up winning by a field goal. Now 45-42, if you can't read. Um, but it was pretty back and forth. I think both defenses were exposed. To be honest with you, uh, Lamar was running a little bit better as an owner. I'm happy for that. He went out the game. They said for cramps. To me, it looked like he had shit.
That might have been it.
If you saw him at the he's running the tunnel, he definitely had it's peaking.
No, oh my
like it's
God.
like
I don't
so
know.
I don't know, man, but I definitely think he looked like something's going on.
I think that
Too
was
much
it.
protein early. Yeah,
You meant to
and they
investigate
came
that.
back in. He came back in. I think he said, "I did not pull a Paul Pierce." I think
Oh, that's what he said. Oh my gosh.
but
No,
overall, it's a pretty good game.
follow
though.
Twitter. Pat's gonna update us on that Brown Gate.
The- uh, but overall, I think it's a pretty exciting game. If you're I mean, it was a must win by Ravens definitely. But were you a little happier as far as the Ravens backfield, or you kind of like,
Yeah, I think that shaped out to Mark. I didn't hear anything about Mark Ingram having anything devastating going on where he wasn't playing. I think he's just doesn't have the talent
Afterthought.
anymore. So it really was 1-2 Dobbins, Edwards, and then obviously Lamar had those big runs. So it's those three basically, if you really want to be honest about it. But otherwise, yeah, actually, Jedrick Wills went out for a little bit, so I want to see if he's in the race actually for Offensive Rookie of the Year with Jefferson.
Brown.
Yeah, he's played every game, and yeah, we'll see if he's okay, because we saw Baker how bad he was with bad tackles last year. We don't want to see that again. But yeah, I think with the Browns defense, they need Denzel Ward, even though he's not grading out as one of the better cornerbacks. But if they would have had somebody to stop a little bit of that passing game, I think they could have locked up the running game. Man, that was like that the Rams Chiefs game like 2 years ago. It was like 100 points scored. It was almost filmed like that for a while. I don't mind offensive games like that. Hey, it's nice to see when you just got basically that stolen from you in that Chargers and Falcons game.
True.
So
make up.
Yeah, make it up, right? But
yeah, we'll see. I think that even if that tackles out, maybe it has a bad impact on Nick Chubb.
Yeah, possibly.
I think that's still that 1-2 punch. That's the formula. I think it was a little sloppy at first, both sides, fumbling left and right. And I think the Ravens are starting to lose a couple people. Peters he went down again.
Yeah.
They're just starting to fall apart slowly but surely, I think. And I think they're going to realize, just let Lamar run. Like, I don't. If the man's struggling throwing, he's still missing stuff. He made some good plays at the end, but he was still. The first half, he had no traction. He had to switch cleats and everything. But let him do not what he can do, what he's doing good right now. That's all. Just let it go.
Yeah, maybe it's mid-season adjustment, right?
Yeah. But yeah, you guys. Obviously, look out for our Week 15 waiver wire. This week will be live about 10:45 Central Sunday morning for the games with Mr. Izzy again.
He's back.
Super fan. He said he loves more than wide receivers. That's what he says. But yeah, so be sure to tune into that, and so we can have your start-sit questions ready for us, so we can address those properly. And as always, if you like more videos like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thank you from Pat.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Deuces.